For the best medical and paramedical lectures, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay connected with us.
Hi everyone, myself Tony back with the NCLX Army Preparation Part 12. So let's begin. Starting from the 56th question, the nurse is assessing the deep tendon reflexes of the client with preeclampsia. Which method is used to allocate the bicep reflex? So let's see the option. Option A, the nurse places her thumb on the muscle inset in the antecubital space and taps the thumb briskly with the reflex hammer. Option B, the nurse loosely suspends the client's arm in an open hand while tapping the back of the client's elbow. Option C, the nurse instructs the client to dangle her legs as the nurse strikes the area below the patella with the blunt side of the reflex hammer. Yeah, option D, the nurse instructs the client to place her arms loosely at her. So let's see the correct option, and the correct option is option A. The nurse places her thumb on the muscle inset in the antecubital space and taps the thumb briskly with the reflex hammer. So let's see why this is correct. Answer B, allocate the tricep reflex, so it is incorrect. Answer C, allocate the patellar reflex, making it incorrect. Answer D, allocate the radial nerve, so it is incorrect. So first of all, what is preeclampsia? So preeclampsia is a pregnancy complication which has high blood pressure. So client having preeclampsia and nurse assessing the tendon deep reflexes to so thumb on muscle inset in the antecubital space and taps the thumb briskly with the reflex hammer is correct. Compared to option B, C and D are incorrect because they are not related to tendon. So the correct option is option A. Further moving to 57th question, Gravida with diabetes is admitted to a labor and delivery unit at 34 weeks gestation. Which doctor's order should the nurse question? So let's see the option. Option A, magnesium sulfate 4 mg 25%. Option B, Brethine 10 mcg. Option C, Stradol 1 mg. Push every 4 hours as needed for pain. Yeah, option D, SF 2 mg every 6 hours. So let's see the correct option, and the correct option is option B, Brethine 10 mcg. So let's see why this is correct. Brethine is used cautionally because it raises the blood glucose level. Answer A, C and D are all medication that are commonly used in the diabetic client. So here first of all we have to see what is primigravida. The woman who is pregnant for the first time is called as primigravida. So here all the option A, C and D are all the medications that are commonly used as diabetic client. So here option B, Brethine 10 mcg is correct option. Further moving to 58th question, the diabetic multigravida is scheduled for an amniocentesis at 32 weeks gestation to determine the LS ratio and phosphatidylglycerol level. The LS ratio is 1:1 and the presence of phosphatidylglycerol is noted. The nurse's assessment of this data is option A, the infant is at low risk for congenital anomalies. Option B, the infant is at higher risk for intrauterine growth retardation. Option C, the infant is at high risk for respiratory distress syndrome. Yeah, option D, the infant is at high risk for deep trauma. So let's see the correct option, and the correct option is option C, the infant is at high risk for respiratory distress syndrome. So let's see why this is correct. When the LS ratio reaches 2:1, the lungs are considered to be mature. The infant will most likely to be small for gestational age and will not be at risk for birth trauma. So answer D is incorrect. The LS ratio does not indicate congenital anomalies as stated in answer A, and the infant is at at not risk for intrauterine growth retardation, making answer B is incorrect. So here first of all, what is multigravida? So the woman who is pregnant for more than one time is known as multigravida. So here normal lung ratio of infants should be 2:1 and the infant having 1:1. So answer C, respiratory distress syndrome is there compared to all the other option. So the correct option is option C. Further moving to 59th question, which observation in the newborn of a diabetic mother would require immediate nursing intervention? Let's see the option. Option A, crying. Option B, wakefulness. Option C, jitteriness. Yeah, option D, yawning. So let's see the correct option, and the correct option is option C, jitteriness. So here jitteriness is a sign of seizure in neonate. Crying, wakefulness and yawning are expected in the newborn. So answer A, B and D are incorrect. Further moving to 60th question, the nurse caring for a client receiving intravenous magnesium sulfate must closely observe for side effect associated with drug therapy and expected side effect of magnesium sulfate is. So let's see the option. Option A, decrease urinary output. Option B, hypersomnolence. Option C, absence of knee jerk reflex. Yeah, option D, decrease respiratory rate. So let's see the correct option, and the correct option is option B, hypersomnolence. So let's see why this is correct. The client is expected to become sleepy, have not flashes and be lethargic. A decreasing urinary output, absence of the knee jerk reflex and decreased respiration indicate toxicity. So answer A, C and D are incorrect. So here side effect of magnesium sulfate is hypersomnolence because it becomes sleepy and have hot flashes and can be lethargic. So compared to option A, C and D, the option B is correct option. So that's it guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this lecture, give a like and subscribe our channel. We will updating videos of NCLX regularly. We will back with part 13. Till then, be happy, stay home, stay safe.
Do like, leave a comment and share with your friends.